All right, Prof, you also talked about, the role of money, which you say was a critical factor in these Ondo State governorship election. But we also saw a deployment of about 22,000 policemen. We saw a deployment of members of the EFCC. We saw the DSS around. But the issue of vote buying still persists. Is it that they are not doing their job well enough, or this vote buying is something that really can't be checked?
Our observers reported a phenomenon of the DSS arresting some persons that were involved in vote buying. But in a state of 18 local governments, and you arrest just one, when in fact people have been raising alarm that prior to the election, vote buying, voter inducement has been a major phenomenon. It's been part of campaign rallies and some of the activities of candidates and political parties. Nothing has been done. This is one area that we need to really address. Go back to the Uwais report. It drew attention to the fact that if we don't demonetize the role that inducement, voter inducement plays in our political system, then we are far from having credible elections. Because what vote buying does is that it creates an unbalanced political environment where those with access to resources and state power take advantage of the vulnerability of citizens, of the poverty situation of these people, and begin to buy votes instead of, or rather than allowing them to decide their candidates of the candidates of their choice. We have consistently been advising citizens that that money is your money. You can collect the money, but let the money not define your conscience. Collect the money, but vote for the candidate of your choice. Our key institutions like the DSS and the EFCC have a huge role to play in monitoring the flow of money. The banks also need to be held responsible because these are the areas where these monies are accessed. Prior to the elections, it's important for the DSS and the EFCC to work with the banks to track the flow of money. Huge cash withdrawals from money from the banks. BDCs are also areas that we should look out for. The institutions have a duty to lay important surveillance within those areas with a view to tracking how monies in millions are leaving these banks and being stashed into locations for vote buying.
Yeah, you said, you talk to citizens and sensitizing them. You tell them that it is their money, collect the money. But is that not encouraging them to become accomplices, aiding and abetting these kind of electoral fraud or electoral malpractice? Shouldn't they be better sensitized on rejecting the money? Because if there's no giver, there's no taker.
Citizens,
or if there's no taker, there will be no giver.
I am not encouraging citizens. I am not encouraging citizens to be accomplices. I am encouraging them to fight it. If the money comes, they collect, and they don't vote for the person that brings the money, the next time he will not bring the money. And that is the only way to deal with it, because you are confronted with the money. So it's a face-to-face interaction. While the institutions responsible for dealing with these issues are working at that level, if you come face-to-face with this money, then you need to also teach the politicians and their candidates a lesson that we are more than what you think. You can't just come and buy our votes. If you allow them go with the money, it's possible there are other vulnerable people somewhere that will capitulate into this ugly situation.
Well, let's look at the conduct now of INEC, the electoral umpire. How well have they improved looking at their performance in Ondo State governorship election?